Welcome to the Life of KG, your ultimate destination for all things motivation and business insights. Join me, Katie Godfrey, serial entrepreneur and the brains behind the KG brand. Along the way, we'll welcome inspiring guests and share invaluable business tips to fuel your growth journey. Don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button and leave us a review. With that said, let's dive into the world of success together. Are you a salon, clinic, or training academy ready to scale to the next level? My mastermind applications are now open. A mix of hybrid coaching, which is one-to-one direct access to me, group coaching, retreats, in-person days, online learning, everything that you need to scale to the next level. Click the link in the show notes below and fill out the application form today. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of A Life of KG. I've got my partner with me. Hey Ames.
Hey babe.
Okay, what should we talk about today? Because everyone's loving our episodes.
Oh, like,
absolutely loving it.
I'd love to be an honorary guest on your poddy.
I know, I feel like there's going to be no more solo episodes.
Like a residential type thing.
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit like our podcast now. Taking over.
Life of KG.
Okay, Life of KG / Ames.
Thanks. I love it. I love it. And also, I think because we both equally give a shit about the industry as much as each other.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
we do.
I think it's really important to be vocal.
Why do you think we're so passionate about it? Do you think it's because we're now
probably because we're the underdogs. So I feel like we've kind of just stayed in our lane and done our thing.
Mm.
And now it's time we've got to shake it up a bit. I want to see this industry thrive. And I'm sick of hearing the same stuff of, you don't make any money in this industry, only thick people go into it because you don't know what else to do. Like, I'm really sick of that narrative. Yeah. Because look at the amazing women that we've been surrounding ourselves with, like powerhouses, pocket rockets, like these incredible dynamic business leaders. They're not stupid. No. They didn't just go into the industry because they didn't know what else to do.
No.
And it's about time that we stand in that power and say, like, we know what we're doing and we're really fucking good at it.
I know, because we do know what we're doing. And we are really bloody good at it.
Exactly.
We are.
Some of us are.
Yeah. And obviously we can't back from the retreat in January. Like, this is your first time as well, like being on a retreat.
Yeah.
But I think also, tell me if I'm wrong, but surrounding yourself with people in the same industry, which we don't normally do.
Oh, God, it was so magical, Kate. It was so magical. And I felt really grateful. I felt really humble. Like, I also felt really driven. You know, I'm like a really driven person anyway, but I'm always working on my own or one-on-one with you, or, you know, like, I'm not in a group like that. And it, you know, if I'm really honest, I stay away from the beauty industry. I kind of avoid it.
Yeah.
I don't know why I do that. I have no idea why, and I need to unpack it a bit more, but I tend to stay away, stay in my lane. And now, because I'm focusing so much on franchise, I've got this really cool community in franchise that I love. And they're all powerhouses themselves, but it's very masculine.
Yeah.
And I've never been around that much masculinity. But they're like feminine masculine, do you know what I mean? Like, they all really care. There's something really special about the franchise space when you're with the right people.
Yeah, definitely.
And I felt like maybe because I didn't want the competition.
I was going to say, do you think that you're liking the franchise space because you've got that community of like-minded people?
Very much so,
and then actually being on the retreat, there was the same like-minded people. Yeah. It's like choosing your tribe, but then maybe being not so keen to be within the beauty industry and surrounding yourself with them people, because we've been in it for so long. Back in the day, and there is still loads of this as well, we don't want to share anything in case they copy. There's a lot more
so
competition. There's loads of bitchiness. Yeah. Like, everyone's trying to shit on each other. Whereas when you're with a certain type of people, that doesn't happen, like them safe spaces.
Very much so. And any time I have tried to connect with, like, other salon owners surrounding my salon, I find them quite frosty.
Yeah.
They don't want to connect or collaborate because they see me as competition. And I don't feel like that. I don't feel like we should be competition. I just do nails and waxing and laser. Like, just let me do nails and waxing and let me promote you doing all the other treatments that you do. Like, you don't want to be doing, most salons don't want to be doing nails and waxing anyway. So I've just never really felt that supported, I suppose. And I've never really found my tribe in the beauty industry. I probably did when I was spa management, but that was quite cliquey as well. I probably did with the whole cruise ships. But actually, as a salon owner, I've just been head down, getting on with my own stuff. So to be around other salon owners or clinic owners or training centre owners, like, they were just the most beautiful group of humans. They were so lovely. And also, I love the value. I love talking to people. I can talk to anybody about anything and I will help wherever I can. And I don't mind being asked a question if it will help someone. It doesn't bother me. But I feel like there were so many people in the beauty industry up until then that didn't want to ask because they see me as competition maybe. Or they were, you know, like I've had it before when I've got other salon owners bitching about my salon, my team, because they see it as competition or not being very kind about us. So I think that's probably why I've stayed away from it.
Yeah.
But to be surrounded by other salon owners who are equally as passionate, but also hungry. And, you know, you see that drive in their eyes. They're just not quite sure how they're going to do it.
Yeah.
And the session that we held with the SWOT analysis, like, that was phenomenal. And then actually asking them what their massive, massive goals that make them feel a bit sick.
Yeah, so good.
Oh, God, I loved that. I loved it so much because it allowed them to think massive, didn't it?
Yeah.
Rather than dim their own sparkle, like, think massive. What do you want? And you are fully entitled to want and get it. And I'm all about that.
Yeah. I do think that sometimes we're just so scared to dream or to set goals that maybe feel so out of reach. But then we put ourselves in these boxes. And
like, who do I think I am
to
think like that? Yeah.
Or my family aren't going to like think I'm good enough to do this. My friends aren't going to think I'm good enough. Or maybe I don't have the finances or, you know, I can't be that successful. Where it's like, no, you can. Like, you really can if you want to.
Yeah. And I saw that in every single person that was there, whether they changed their mind about the goal that they had, whether they changed their path. There was a few that kind of shifted and was like, actually, I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
I want to do this because this is where I'm fulfilled. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I felt like we gave them space to think, work on their business, but also then think big and maybe, you know, make those changes they need to.
Yeah, definitely. I'm so excited for Marbs because we're both going to Marbella as well.
Again, I'm tagging along.
Oh, dear me, what a hard life.
Do you know what? I also love hosting.
Oh, it's so good, isn't it?
I love hosting. I love doing big parties and stuff. And I felt like I was just in my element. I was learning, I was chatting, I was collaborating. I'm speaking to Maria about launching my products in Ireland.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
The collaboration that happens when like you're with people that just want the best from each other.
Yeah.
But there's been so much collaboration since, like, you're talking to Maria, I'm actually talking to Maria. There's a few girls that are swapping training courses and helping out with stuff there.
And there was Sam that was doing the training for marketing.
She's pushing all the marketing and apprenticeships. Chelsea, she's been helping people out with laser training. Like, there's been so much going on.
Yeah, and the industry needs her to help with laser training.
Definitely. So there's a lot of amazing things coming out, but our retreat team is epic,
we were like, it was the most powerful, like, Small and Mighty was our team. Me, Mama Karen, Els, and you. Like, it's a tiny team, but do you know what? I was talking about it yesterday, actually. We didn't actually have to say what anyone needed to do, did we?
No.
Not once did we have to have a powwow about, you need to do this. There was no delegation. We all just done it.
I know. It's like I delegated everything in my sleep, and everyone just knew.
We just got up and done it.
It's because we just know what we're doing.
I think that's the difference, isn't it? And it's also surrounding yourself with A players.
Yes.
You know, when people don't need to be dictated to or told what to do.
Yeah.
You are just, you know what is needed.
Yeah,
We've all held events before.
Yeah.
We know what the stresses are. And actually you needed to just get on and focus on what you were presenting. And then me and your mum just titivated and made it kind of all feel nice.
Yeah, no, you guys
and
were
Elle,
just
you don't even know she's there, do you? Bless her.
No. Like, you guys are so, so good, like, and helped me loads, because I don't think anyone understands, unless you've held an event, how that is on your mind, your energy, everything.
Yeah.
And one of my friends actually just done a day event with around 8 people, and she was like, Kate, I don't know how you hold an event. Like, I've done this small event, which was amazing. She's like, but I'm drained. And like, 3 days is heavy. Like, it's a lot. Because you need to hold everyone's energy space and make sure everyone's okay. And obviously so much has gone into it. So for me, I always want to make sure that I'm giving everyone the best experience and they're happy and, you know, they're getting enough. And I want to make sure that I spend enough one-on-one time with people. And
I love the hot seats.
Did you?
I also loved that you included me in it, so thank you. You know, because I was like, I'll just sit in the background, like pretend I'm not here. I'm just tagging along, you know. And then all of a sudden, you were like, "So have you got anything else?" I was like, "Well, yes, actually, I'll do hot seats with you forever." I love that.
I love hot seats when it's done properly, it's done right, and everyone's like got really something quick to focus on. Yeah, like that 5 minutes can literally change the whole game for you, can't it?
Yeah, but also getting different perceptions or perspectives even, but then also everyone else joining in as well and saying, have you thought about that? And have you, oh my God, it was so powerful.
Definitely. And one thing we obviously wanted to touch on was the fact that in the retreat and outside of the retreat, because obviously we talk to salon owners and clinic owners and academies all of the time, lots of us, aka me, lots of us are like done when it comes to our businesses where we're tired, you know, it's not the same as what it used to be. And we did see that a lot over the period of being in.
And because we feel it, you can see it in someone's eyes, can't you? That's a business or clinic owner or any kind of business, really. You can see it when someone's done. And if we hadn't have gone through COVID, I don't think we would feel that way.
No. I do feel that it's the people that had their businesses before COVID that are maybe more affected because we know what business was like pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And that was always hard as well.
I'd be absolutely minted now if we didn't have COVID.
Oh my God, don't. Like, I do cry
I was on this
bit.
trajectory of like scaling the shit out of it. You know, like it was going so fast.
Yeah, it was a lot. So I think business was hard pre-COVID, but we were taking so much more money. Like there was a lot more training courses and people going through. Like it was just completely different. And I think we're so affected by what happened to us during COVID and then how business has just changed since then, that unless you've been on that journey, it's really hard to know what we've gone through as a whole.
It's the staff shift, it's the team shift, it's the people shift, you know. It's so much harder to manage people, but it's the debt that we're all stuck with.
Yeah.
It's also the difficulty of recruitment. Everything just feels hard.
Yeah.
You know, it feels tougher. And I feel like you have to have some serious resilience to get through this because we're now in a time where we're paying the highest salaries. We can't push our prices that much, really. Everything else has gone up. We're trying to push our prices, but we're all still really good people and we still really care. We're trying to do the right thing. And well, you see it, you must see it on a daily basis, like the deliberation that people have about the prices they charge, the value they give, the type of business they want.
Yeah.
And then also a lot of staff obviously set up on their own during COVID and still carried on trading, still earning money, you know. Yeah. And they've stayed on their own. There's a lot of people doing solo therapist or solo professional, whatever industry it is. And so for salons, I've seen that shift. We will get through it and we will come out stronger.
I really believe it. Those that really like want to put their all into it still, that do still have that passion and don't give up, because I think it's very easy at the moment to be like, do you know what, I'm just going to shut shop. I'm going to do something else, or I'm going to sell.
I see it,
Or, you know, just fold. And also with the training academies as well, like it's not the same as it used to be. We used to have like 10 plus students
your old
a
academy,
week.
You like with the big like lounge chairs that you had last year.
We were full constantly. Like all of our stuff's online now. Like it's completely changed.
But it's not the same, is it, as doing an in-person training? You don't have those conversations, that connection.
No, you don't have the same conversations, but I do feel it depends how you build your online platform out, what support is there afterwards. But instead of shutting shop and feel like, do you know what, like the industry isn't how it is and I'm done, I'm tired, I just want to close. Like I think it's about what we've figured out as well in Marrakesh was that mindset change of okay, it's fine if you are done, but what are we going to do to get to that point? Because I do feel that lots of people in our industry don't realise that they're actually building a business that's sellable.
They're building an asset, but they're too emotionally attached, right? So every business is an asset. You're not building it just to give everyone a lovely job and a lovely experience and it's just a paid hobby. And if we can change that mindset and see it as the asset that it is. I'm not talking just database asset and fixtures and fittings, because everyone's got their own style, so they would change it anyway. But you're building an asset in reputation. And at the end of the day, it has to be profitable, right?
Yeah, like I actually love the fact that you say it's an asset, because it is, and actually taking the emotional hold from it. Because what I try and teach my clients all the time is stop being emotional to your business. Like, love it 100%, have passion 100%, but it is a business, and it has to be money generating, and it has to give you the life that you want, because it is just a business, and you can go on and sell that at some point.
Yeah. But it's because we've got small teams as well, and everyone becomes very, very close. So my team are quite used to me talking about whether I'd sell the business or whether I wouldn't. And I want to be really open with them. And I also want them to have the opportunity that if I do decide to sell, they can be the first ones to offer in if they want. But the problem is when you've got a very small team, people think you're ditching them because they see you as like that mother figure, like, oh my God, you would leave us. Why would you leave us? Why, they worry about themselves. Everybody is selfish. Everybody is self-absorbed. They are concerned about themselves first, priority over everything else.
Yeah.
Salon owners will think of their staff first and their team first before their own families. We all pay our teams before ourselves, you know? So I think it's that mindset shift of this is a business, and it's how you build that culture within your business of I'm building an asset, and one day it could be yours.
Yeah.
One day it could be somebody else's. I want mine to stay as Mui's. That's why I built the franchise model. I will sell them potentially, although I had a spiritualist tell me yesterday that I won't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll chat after the show.
However, if I do, they will stay as a Mui's. They will stay under the Mui's fold. But that's what's brilliant about franchising is that it can just stay, but with a different owner. Like, I know that my salons deserve a new operational owner.
Yeah.
Because they've got more potential, but I am a bit done, And I think a lot of us are, where I'm done. I love them, but I want to see them thrive, and I'm not there. I don't live there. I'm not in there every day. And that team and that business, those clients could get better if it had an operational owner.
But do you think that's because the fact that you've grown also as a business owner, you've got a different focus? Like, I would say I'm the same. Like, I haven't been in the treatment room now for over 10 years. You haven't been in the treatment room
how old's Willow? 10 years?
Yeah, so about the same time. Oh, that's how old is that? It's about the same time. So we both haven't been in the treatment room for a long time, which we still was able to grow the businesses, or the one salon, do the thing and all of that. But then we've grown as business owners. So actually now our focus is elsewhere.
Yeah.
And that's like fine, but also means when you take the eye off the ball too much, then naturally that might dip, or it needs more attention and love and care. Whereas a new owner in the business then will, that will be their thing. They want to drive that business. They want to be like, what other things can we do to this?
Yeah, there was nobody that can drive a business more than an operator owner.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm really finding there's not many managers around. And I mean, I do management training, right? I've just spent the last 3 days doing it. And it's one of my favourite things I do. It's exhausting. But I do a whole day on HR, a whole day on marketing and finding your avatar. And I do a whole day on finance, like teaching my team how to work out margins and profits and understand financial terminologies. Most people don't even know the difference between gross and net.
No.
So they're working to gross figures. And I'm like, that doesn't really matter. It's all about what's on the bottom line.
Yeah.
We worked out if we change nail files. So I always do like a cost saving exercise. We worked out if we change nail files in each salon, we can save a minimum of £350 a year just by changing nail file supply. And they're exactly the same file, just different manufacturers. They're made in the same place in China, probably.
Yeah, most probably. They will come from the same place.
But just by choosing a different file and insisting that they buy that because of the discount we get or whatever, the buying power. But there's not enough managers out there, so we need operator owners. Because we're not finding the right managers to take over. How do you feel about that?
Within my salons, or within the one I've still got anyway, I recruited managers out of loyalty, which was wrong. So those
because they've been there
the longest, like they know how to deal with what happens on the day-to-day in the salon.
They don't make great managers,
but they're not managers.
No.
Managing teams, dealing with numbers, like it's a completely different ball game.
Treating them like their friends, it's really difficult, isn't it?
So I think you definitely do need a completely different type of person to be able to manage a salon. They are very hard to find
but
now.
where do they go for management training? Where do they go? This is the thing. Like, I do mine for franchise, but it's worrying, because actually what we need is like a finishing school where we can teach people how to be managers, so that salon owners can say, you know, send people on. Like, you may have an incredible team member, but send them to somewhere that they can actually learn what profit is and what it means, and that the decisions that they make in the business can affect that business.
We actually had hot seat coaching in Mastermind this week, and lots of that was to do with managers, because managers were leaving, or they felt that they needed managers. And I've done it for years as well, but what we've actually come across is the fact that it's hard to hire the managers or the right person. But then, depending where you are as the salon owner, do you want to be completely hands off, have nothing to do with it, like me and you would be? Or actually, are you still wanting to do team meetings, one-to-ones, and have that type of hold in it? Then actually having responsibilities and delegation lists with the current team that you have. If you manage that correctly, which I've got a whole system for, it actually works really, really well. But it depends how much you want to be in or out of the business.
See, I'd rather find the right person, send them off for 3 days, pay £1,000, and they come back ready to manage my business efficiently. But I think that's just because of the industries I've been in. Like, when you're working in, like, especially cruise ships, that was one of our things. We'd do management training for a week. I used to host it and then send them onto a ship knowing exactly how to drive that team.
Yeah, definitely.
But there's nowhere to send anyone, really. You can do some online training. You've got one, haven't you? But
yeah, I just will do them directly with the manager themselves and go through it all. But maybe there does have to be like a whole different system to help. But
and
it's finding them at the end of the day.
It is finding them, and it is finding people, because a spa manager isn't the same manager that works in a salon. They don't think different. They don't think the same. And it was a really nice mix, because actually they're all at duty manager or salon manager level, but they've all worked in somewhere different, but none of them have got loads of management experience. So it was really good. It's a really good session.
If you haven't been on a business retreat, this is an absolute game changer for your business. I know so many people are so nervous about traveling on their own, being abroad, going on holiday, basically with a bunch of people that they don't know. But honestly, you will be so thankful that you made this move in your business. I host 2 business retreats twice a year, and they're all different places around the world. So go to kgbusinessmentor.com, press the retreat tab, and you'll see where we are going next in the world. Go and grab your space now. So if someone's done with their business and then they're wanting to now sell it, like, what would you suggest? Because I know me and you have loads of ideas around this. But I think it's not about just closing, like we said, and, you know, a lot of it's mindset shift. Like, we noticed that in the retreat, people wanting to get rid of it, you know, like, I'm just done.
It was really negative. There was a few people, wasn't it? They were really negative about their business. They were like, hate it, don't want to be in it. I don't want to do it anymore. I just want it gone. And I've been there, and I know that you have, where you feel...
I'm there about once a month.
so emotional and so emotionally attached to it. And it's normally when the shit hits the fan, isn't it? When there's another problem. Like, I don't want to be dealing with any more staff issues or sickness or people not coming into it. Like, I think that's the pain that everyone's feeling. They're just a bit done. And we managed to change that mindset, didn't we? When we was like, have you thought about it as an asset rather than the emotional burden? Because the emotional burden is massive for you. But if you take that aside, what could you do to see it as an asset? And if you give yourself a plan, how much could it be worth in the next 12 months? And is it profitable now? If it's not, what can you do to make it profitable? Because you can make a massive difference in a year. And it will be a SWOT analysis. It will be a cost-saving exercise. Get really lean, get really efficient, remove staff from the business that aren't earning their keep or that you don't need anymore. Look at streamlining all of your processes, systemize everything, and then sell it as an asset. And explain to your team that's what you're doing. Get them on board with it.
Yeah, I used to be really, really scared of telling my team that I wanted to sell. It would be I'd have to be like, no, I'm going to be doing it confidentiality. Like, no one's going to know that I'm selling. But now I'm completely different.
Well, imagine that team member that's there. Like, they're like, you know, Team Katie, they've been there the whole time. And then they're like, oh, what, you sold? Why have you not told us? Is that because what that team member will care about is their job, the money that they take home for their family or their life. Remember, people will always be selfish. Doesn't make them bad people.
No.
It's just that they will think of themselves first. So how does them selling that business affect them?
Yeah, exactly.
And you can preempt that. I'm protecting you. I'm keeping you safe. And also, you have to 2P your staff anyway.
You have to. We've bought salons before that we've had to 2Pay the staff over.
Is that how you say it? Is it 2 or 2Pay?
Yeah, 2Pay.
Oh, right.
And the salon, the girls within that salon were actually well excited. Like, oh, new owner, new things are changing. Like, don't get me wrong,
I'm a massive believer in over-communicating.
Pros and cons of it. But, you know, it's exciting for them. You can't do nothing with the team. Like, their contracts are safe. Yeah. You can't change anything.
No.
Like, nothing.
Well, you wouldn't be able to just go in and make them redundant. So all it means is that a new owner keeps their contract in exactly the same position as it was, right? So you can make redundancies and you can do things like that if the business warrants it, but only based on if the business warrants it. But the thing is with redundancies is if you made one team member redundant, all of them have to be up and you can't then re-recruit for that role. So nobody would do redundancy for standard roles anyway.
No.
Rarely.
So if you are done, like within your business at the moment, like forward think, because the girls that come back from the retreat that were feeling like this, like they've made some huge wins where their mindset has just shifted. Instead of being like, I'm done, being like, okay, I do still want to sell. I don't want the salon long term, but actually how long is it going to take me to get there? And what do I need to do in the meantime? Like make the money, make it profitable, make it sellable. And the other thing about making it sellable as well is, and you kind of have to be out of the business to make it more profitable. Like, is the business still going to run and take the money that it takes without you physically being there?
Because also a business isn't sellable if it needs you.
No.
And people forget about that. Like the business isn't sellable if you're the person running it and it relies on you, then it's not an asset. Mm-hmm. It's you're a sole trader. You're running it for yourself as a job. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you are building that business and making it efficient and lean, that you could just hand over the reins to someone else, you build it like a franchise with those systems in place that someone can just come in, take over and put their stamp on it, then you're building an asset.
Who wouldn't, if someone wants a salon though, like who wouldn't want to go and buy a salon that's already existing with the client base, the turnover's already coming in. Oh, yeah, and you're not picking up a whole load of mess.
Because you ain't going to want to buy a mess, right?
No, but if you've got a turnover coming in, you've got employed staff.
And a good profit margin.
Like, why would you not want to do that?
Yeah.
Like,
and the thing is, it's not like you need hundreds of thousands of pounds of profit. You just need to show that it's worthwhile and it's profitable.
Yeah.
But then also, if you're in it and you're taking 30 grand out of it, for example, that new owner, so let's say you're taking 30 grand out of it and it's making 20 grand profit on top of your 30 grand you're taking, then that new owner is automatically, without doing anything, going to be able to access £50,000 a year.
Yeah, which is true. Like with our Wokenham salon, the franchise owner was able to take a wage from day one of opening it because the profit was already there. We wasn't panicking about white space and new clients and all this because the clients are already there. The staff was already in place. We did have staffing issues where some of them be like, oh, new owners, where can we push the boundaries? But other than that salon was so successful from day one we done that. And then we could just put our tweaks, our fine line and all of that in there to make it even better. Yeah. And I loved that. But then as that salon owner sold that, she made a lot of money from that sale. So actually she's earned her money every month through payroll, but then she's
built another asset.
Made a lot of money
and
from selling
for more than what she bought it for, which is what the whole idea is.
Exactly.
But people don't see it like that because they're so emotionally invested in it and the team. But see it as a business owner. See yourself as a CEO. See yourself as a director of a business. Yeah. You're not a therapist that's running a salon.
We done it with one of my hairdressers, actually. So I had a hairdresser's blow dry bar. We had the first blow dry bar in Bedfordshire, Blow and Go. We got so much press and PR from it. Yeah, the phone calls we used to get were a little bit worrying as well.
I bet.
So I literally had that salon for...
This was hilarious. I love this story.
Like 2-3 years. I don't even think I've said it on there before. 2-3 years. I invested 10,000 in originally. Maybe a little bit more after that, just to keep it up to date and stuff. Was it already
existing and you bought it? You set it up?
Completely set that up from scratch. Within 2.5 years, I sold it for like just under 70 grand.
Yeah.
Like,
how much profit was that making? Do you remember?
I can't remember off the top of my head, but I was taking a wage. Like, everything was fine. It was minimal profit we done on that. I was only because I only had it for a couple of years, but it wasn't making a loss.
Which is phenomenal, right? Because and I think this is what people don't understand a lot, and I see this in the industry, is people think that if it's not making hundreds of thousands of pounds, because that's the noise that we listen to, like when we listen to the Stephen Bartlett's at the World or something, if you're not making hundreds of thousands of pounds, it's not successful.
Yeah,
it is if it's profitable. Every business that's profitable is sellable.
Yeah. Definitely. And, you know, I love that, like starting a business and flipping it. It's like building a house, build it, flip it. I was like, oh, love this. Just start a new thing, get a client base in, and then sell it on. Here.
I think we're onto something here.
Yeah.
Because actually, when we saw that shift in that person, we both kind of was like, this is really magical. And I get that side of business, and so do you. But I've had 2 people reach out to me about buying their salons in the last 3 weeks. I've never met these people, and they've got really established businesses. And the first thing that came to mind is, why on earth are you reaching out to me to buy your business? Like, I love that you think that I've got this money to buy your business.
How do you want it? Cash or check?
But why are you looking at me to buy it? And then you were like, I get loads of people ask if I want to buy their business. I was like, right. So there's a lot of people that are really struggling or feeling that pain, right? That we felt or we feel sometimes, but we also understand, build it as an asset. But also when you're done, you're done. So sometimes you get to the point where, like, I don't actually care if it makes any money. I don't give a damn. I just want it gone.
Yeah. And I've been there. I completely get that.
And whenever I've talked about franchises, I've always thought, well, do you know what? I'll go out and find people that aren't in the beauty industry, because if you're in the beauty industry, you'll want just your own salon. You're not going to want necessarily a Muiz, right?
Yeah.
But we had someone come to me on your retreat that was like, I think I actually want a Muiz. I don't want to set up my own. I was like, oh, this is exciting. I never even thought of this. What a great idea. But what about if we can do some sort of matchmaking service for those people that do want to sell, and then I find the franchisee to take it over? But we need to look at, like, teaching people how to value their business or what that looks like, or do it for them.
Yeah, definitely. I think that is something that we can definitely help with within the industry. I get people reach out to me all the time. Kate, can sign an NDA. Let me show you my figures. Like, do you want to buy it? And do you know what? I'm like, I used to be like this when I used to see an empty shop. If I see an empty shop, I used to be like, oh, what can I do with this? What can I do with this? And when the salon owner messaged me that, I'm like, oh, I want to take it. Like, let me see if I can change it around. So I think we're definitely onto something with this. So I think if you are a business owner, salon owner, clinic owner, and you're like, I want to sell, maybe contact us to say, okay, how can we make sure that your business, first of all, can be sellable?
Yes. That's the most important thing, because there's an element of coaching to this as well.
Yeah.
Why are you wanting to sell? What are your reasons for wanting to sell? Are you just done, or you want to move on to something else?
Yeah.
Or you just can't see your way out of it. You can't see the wood for the trees, you know? And then there's options on how you sell. Do you sell 100% for 20 grand? You know, like, is it worth anything? Or there's different multipliers on how to value that business.
Yeah.
And we need to take in all factors to see if it can be sold, or do you coach them for 6 months to get them to a point of selling?
Yeah. And we can tell you how much your business is worth when we've looked at everything. Yeah, like, we will be able to do it for you. So if you're finding, you know what, I am interested in selling, or actually, how much would my business be worth? We'll be able to give you them figures for then you to go, actually, yeah, I'm going to sell this. Or do you know what? Okay, I have to work 6 more months or 12 more months in the business to get it to that point, and then I'll be able to put it on market to sell.
Yeah.
Or, you know, Amy might come along and go, do you know what? This would make perfect Muiz. Like,
I've got a franchisee that wants this location, and I can sign it off as a Muiz and then just find the franchisee for it. So there's like that matchmaking service.
Oh my God, so exciting.
It is really, isn't it? Like, as soon as I thought about it, you know, when you get like a download, do you ever get that? And you're just walking around, and I was at the franchise show, wasn't I? And I was walking from my hotel to the franchise show. I'd had the worst morning ever. And I phoned you. I was like, I've had a little download. Like, this is really cool.
Yeah, yeah. And remember, we also have like franchising opportunities too. So if you're not wanting to sell and you're like, do you know what? My salon's doing amazing, but I really want to do what Amy's doing.
Scale,
ready to scale. Like, let us know. We can then go, okay, you are ready to scale, or maybe you're not yet. This is the path that you need to go on to do that. to then start franchising? Because we want more franchises, don't we, in the industry?
I'd love the beauty industry. I talk about the beauty because I know the hair industry, but beauty is mine, right? I would love it when someone sets up their own business, they literally just choose what type of salon they want from a franchise, because you just get to where you want to go so much quicker.
No, it's what you do in America. You very rarely going to set up your own business. You'll go, okay, what business do I want to be part of, and buy into that franchise.
But when you look at the stats, and it's so high now, it's like 60% of businesses fail in the first year. Like, you've got so many, you've only got 10% that make it through to 10 years or to scale. And I think it's all numbers, right? It's all taking that emotional element out, seeing the numbers. And the stats are so high for business failure, especially in the beauty industry, because we don't have this knowledge or training. We're really good at what we do, and then we set up a business and then go, oh shit, how do I run this? How do I understand this? And then we rely on accountants who aren't always the most trustworthy. Yeah. And then there's just nowhere else apart from you, and there's a few people, there's not loads, but there's a few people in the industry that can help. Yeah. I just think, oh God, imagine if we could have 10 franchises and you just choose depending on what your style is and what your treatments are that you want. Yeah. So I want some competition out there. And the more competition, the more we're all talking about it, and the more we're all bringing franchise to the party. Yeah, definitely. So that colleges are saying, oh, if you want your own business, these are the franchises. They're going to come and do a presentation, or these are the ones to look out for. Yeah. And it's for clients going to them trusted sources all the time and knowing what they're getting. Yeah. Like, it's a lot more... It creates a lot more loyalty, I think, within the whole industry. It catapults you so much quicker. So instead of you sitting there figuring out how you're going to get new clients in still at 6 months, you're managing payroll and how to get more staff in at 6 months. It catapults you by about 18 months to 2 years having a franchise, because you don't have to figure it out. I really want to franchise my coaching business. Do you know why? I really want to do it. Oh, interesting.
I know. I don't know if I should say that live on air, but... Like,
we just did.
I've just done it. No, because I feel like, again, going back to the trusted sources, like, if you go to a Mui's, you know what experience you're getting. You know it's trusted. You know,
the products are being used. Yeah. You can see the Google reviews for all of the salons, not just one. They're all the same. Yeah.
Whereas there's so many coaches everywhere, and some that really
should not be
good,
coaching,
like just doing it for the money and all of that stuff. Like, it really grates on me. But if there was more people to help the industry that were under KG, taught by me, have the same values, morals, all of that, I think it'd be really good.
I feel like you've just set yourself up another business. Good luck to you. So we're actually, in this conversation, we've got 2 new businesses. Because, 3, because we want to help people franchise. Yeah. But it's scaling or franchise. We know how hard it is to scale. And that going from 1 to 2 is so difficult.
The hardest part.
It is the hardest part. And then you go for multiple, and then you get investment. But you're still going to have to understand business as a CEO, not as a salon manager.
Yes. I love that. I've written that in my book so many times. Like, you need the CEO mindset. Like we've said many times, take the emotion out of it, take the friendships out of it, take all of that stuff out of it. Like, this is just a business. You need to be a CEO. And if you're listening, you're like, I want to scale, or I want a franchise, or I want to sell. Any of those, you're like, right, where's your CEO mindset?
Yeah, would your CEO keep people just because you like them?
No, definitely not.
It's the biggest mistake we all make. Hold on to people because, but I really love them and I know them and I know their family, but my business might go under if I keep them.
Oh God, you've been there so many times. So I think we're pros at redundancies. And a lot of the time people see that as a weakness as well. They'll be like, oh, you're making a redundancy.
Oh my God, is your business okay? Like, I've had that. Are you okay?
I hate it.
It was the most traumatic experience I've ever gone through in business.
They're awful.
However, someone gave me some advice. I'm going to share it on here. I was really stressed about this whole redundancy. It's like people's perception, like you say, like people are going to think that you're failing, people will think your business is going to go under and all of this. Actually, I needed to make some serious changes to scale. And I spoke to this guy, he owns an incredible franchise called Sales Geek, and he does sales training. He's a phenomenal guy, and he was a keynote speaker at this event I went to. And I was telling him about the situation I was in, and he said, you need to trim the rose bush to make it grow back stronger.
Love that.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And I said, you're actually going to make me cry. And he goes, it's okay if you cry. I'll hug you if you want. Like, he was such a nice guy. And it really made it, we're so emotionally driven, but it made so much sense. And it really gave me the clarity to say, yes, I love these people so much. I love them like they're my family, but I've bred that culture. It's on me.
Yeah.
I've bred that culture because I wanted friends in the business. I wanted people to work with me. I wanted my allies. The problem is I treated them like that as well. So then whatever I done hurt them. So then I felt even guiltier because I was hurting their feelings and hurting their family. Yeah. Fucking hell, it was brutal.
It's horrible.
It's brutal. But there's so many lessons from it. And I'm definitely stronger for it. Yeah. But so many lessons.
But so many wins as well is going to come out from making that decision as a CEO. So many things are going to come from
what is going to protect this business, this asset that I am building? Because I want to sell Muiz Group as in a future. I said to your team, not your team, your masterminders. Yeah. That's what you call them. I was like, are they mentees? What
my masterminders.
I love that. But I said my big, hairy, audacious goal is 50 salons by 2030. It makes me feel a little bit sick. And then I want to sell it all for millions to some massive company that wants to take it to the next level and get 500. And I'll be like, yeah, enjoy yourself. See you later.
Yeah, definitely.
And they were like, I don't think the money you want is enough, actually. I was like, well, let me just get to 50 first, because I might change my mind and go, okay, we'll get to 100. Who knows? But it's having that big goal to work towards. And I think wherever you are in business now, see what is that big goal and what strategic decisions are you going to make that's not emotionally driven, that's going to help. It doesn't make you a bitch. It doesn't make you a bad human. It just makes you a CEO that's making tough decisions. Because if we were guys, we wouldn't think like that.
Oh, no, we definitely wouldn't.
We wouldn't worry. We certainly wouldn't go, oh my God, what about their families?
No.
They just don't think like that, which is why they are powerful CEOs a lot of the time.
But we get in our own way. It's really interesting because I actually really like working with men at the moment.
Yeah.
Like my new business partner, he's a man. Like I'd say he's like more like
he's a man. Surprise.
Did I just say that?
My new business partner, he's a man.
He's a man.
Really pleased for you. Sorry, I can't do one thing without taking the piss out of you, can I?
Oh, God, no, you can't. But they are just, business is business.
Business is business. Like, it's not emotional. And they get away with it because they're men and that's just expected. But for women, we put ourselves in a different calibre.
Yeah.
And then you get women, I mean, I could harp on about the masculine and feminine energy, but you get women that then do fall into masculine energy and do have that male kind of thought process, and then they're classed as bitches.
Yeah, see, I feel like I'm nearly there. Like,
are you?
Yeah, like I always say, not a bit, not like far from it actually, but more the fact that it is just business thinking.
Yeah.
I'd say I've been like that for the last few years. Like there's no emotional thinking for me.
Ooh.
When it comes to my teams or anything like that. I still care and love them.
Yeah.
Nothing ever changes that.
Yeah.
But if something needs to go or change,
then you'll make a decision. But you have to go through
business decision first.
Really tough decisions to get that strength.
Oh, God,
you have to really go through tough situations and circumstances when you say to yourself, what have I learned from this? How am I going to evolve and how am I never going to let myself get there again?
Yeah.
But I created this mum culture. Like I loved being able to have mums that are like can work from home, the flexibility. I really loved that.
Yeah.
But creating that culture in my business wasn't driving my profit, wasn't driving my bottom line. It was creating this really lovely culture that they could do whatever they wanted when they wanted, but it wasn't making sales.
No.
And it wasn't driving my business. And it's really difficult, you know.
But it's really interesting, isn't it? Like you have to go through all of these experiences to learn, see what works, see what doesn't.
Yeah, you don't do it overnight.
No. And it is having that balance. Sometimes you can be too masculine and sometimes you can be too on the feminine. I get it all the time. Okay, you're very masculine energy.
Yeah.
But I wish there was a bit of a balance, but it's hard when you're in business.
I think you are there. I think there is a masculine and feminine energy mix. And I think, you know, we should play into the feminine powers that we have because it makes us incredible leaders. But we have to have the masculine thought process of we are CEOs, we're running a business. And I think if we all got out of our own way a little bit, we would be better at it.
Yeah.
And we need to tap into that masculine energy. The feminine is what makes us incredible leaders. Like look at Karen Brady, one of my favourite leaders on the planet.
As you were talking, I was actually thinking of her.
I love Karen Brady. I've seen her, you know, like I've seen her talk. I just love her energy. You wouldn't want to mess with her though, would you?
No.
You know, if you're going into a disciplinary with Karen Brady, you're fucked.
Yeah.
However, if you needed something, you needed help, you'd think she would do it. She would help you. So let's all embrace Karen Brady.
I will be Karen Brady.
Or sometimes, if you watch Yellowstone, be more Beth.
I don't watch that.
Oh my God, you need to. I mean, she's tough as nails. Yeah.
Aww.
So sometimes Martin will say, be more Beth, Amy. And I'm like, yes, be more Beth.
My inner Beth.
Yes.
Oh. So, okay, if you're listening and you're thinking, I want to sell, I want a franchise, I'm done, whatever emotion has come out from this episode, drop us a message, because we really want to see kind of where our industry is at the moment.
Love to hear it. But also, what makes you, has anything we said makes you excited? You know, do you think, oh, actually, if I just give it that last little leg, that last little push, I can turn this around and I can make it something really sellable?
Yeah, for sure.
Because also, I've worked my arse off in my salons. I don't want to just fold because I'm a bit emotionally unavailable to them, or because I'm tired, or I don't want to listen to staff problems anymore.
Yeah.
Why should I fold over and like let that all just go after all that hard work?
I can most really guess that there's going to be most people listening, or a lot anyway, maybe I didn't even think about I could sell.
Yeah. And even if you sold for 20 grand, you're selling for 20 grand, right?
Yeah.
Big difference.
Yeah, like as long as you're
lease.
walking away with like something in your pocket, like, and you're, you know, happy with that, it doesn't have to be for hundreds of thousands of pounds.
No, it could just be something that gives you like 6 months freedom to figure out your next plan or whatever it may be. But also, there's different ways of buying a business. It's very rare that a business is bought outright nowadays. It's bought outright with a profit share.
Yeah.
So it could be that someone comes in, runs it, but you get half up front and then a half over the next year or two. Yeah. So you still have some sort of income, you know?
Yeah, lots and lots of people do that
now. There's more. 80% of businesses are done like that now. But then if your business isn't that profitable and you made $5,000 profit, then sell it for 10 or 15 and just be gone. And then hopefully I'll have franchisees looking for those areas.
Yeah, baby.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So give us a message, let us know, and then let's see if we can help you in any way.
Thanks, babe.